explain about what is the independence curriculum. Alright, Merdeka curriculum is a curriculum with intra-curricular learning with diverse content to optimize students' learning and give them enough time to deepen concept and strengthen competencies. The first Merdeka curriculum was launched in 2022 and is optional. For the characteristic of curriculum Merdeka, development first of soft skill and character. The development of soft skill and character through the Pancasila student profile strengthening project. And the second, focus on essential material. Focus on essential, relevant, and in-depth material so that there is enough time to develop students' creativity, innovation in assessing basic competencies such as literacy and numeracy. And the last, flexible learning. Freedom for teacher to conduct learning that is appropriate to the level of achievement and development of each student and adapt to the local context and content. Alright, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay guys, my name is Brata Denata. Okay, I will continue the material. 3 options for independent implementation of the independence curriculum. The first is independent learning. Independent learning is a method or learning process where learners have ownership and control of their learning. They learn by their own actions and direct, regulate, and assess their own learning. And the second is independent change. Independent change is a variable is exactly what it sounds like. It is variable that stands alone and isn't changed by the other variables you are trying to measure. And then the third is independent sharing. Independent sharing, it is given flexibility to educational units in independent curriculum by developing their own teaching tools. Okay, why should independent curriculum? Why do we need an independent curriculum? Various national and international studies show that Indonesia has experienced a learning crisis for quite a long time. These studies show that many Indonesian children are unable to understand simple reading or apply basic mathematical concepts. Then it got worse due to the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. To overcome the crisis, various challenges, we need systematic change, one of which is through the curriculum. The curriculum determines the material taught in class. The curriculum also influences the pace and teaching method used by teachers to meet students' needs. For this reason, the Ministry of Education and Culture has developed the independent curriculum as an important part of efforts to recover learning from the crisis we have been experiencing for a long time. Okay, the next material will be explained by Nazla.
Alright, so I will explain about the terms of independent curriculum. So there is 7 point of terms of independent curriculum, and we're gonna explain about the first one is learning outcomes, capaian pembelajaran, or we could say it's CP. Learning outcomes are learning competences that students must achieve at each phase of development. CP includes a collection of competencies and material coverage which are arranged comprehensively in narrative form. CP for early childhood education (PAUD) consists of one phase, namely the foundation phase. CP for primary and secondary education consists of 6 phases, namely phase A to phase F. And then the second is we have a flow of learning objective, or we could say ATP. The flow of learning objective, or ATP, is a series of learning objectives that are systematically and logically organized in a learning pace so that students can achieve the learning outcomes. The first, the ATP guides teacher and students to achieve the learning outcomes at the end of a pace. Each point in the flow of learning objective is arranged chronologically based on the order of learning over time. And of course, the teacher can develop their own flow of learning objective according to the context and needs of the children in their class. The government provides some example of flow of learning objectives that can be directly used or modified and makes guidance for the development of teaching tools. Okay, we're gonna move on to teaching models, or MA. Teaching models are a type of teaching tools that contains a lesson plan to help direct the learning process to achieve the learning outcomes. Or in Indonesia, in Bahasa we say the CPS. If the education unit uses teaching modules provided by the government, then the teaching models can be paired with the lesson plans plus, because the teaching models have more complete components in that lesson plan. If education units develop the teaching model independently, then the teaching model can be matched with the lesson plan. Education unit can use the various open tools, including open models of lesson plan. And then we're gonna move to Pancasila student profile. So Pancasila student profile in Merdeka curriculum, you'll often heard and used the term Pancasila student profile. What is a Pancasila student profile? The Pancasila learner profile is a number of character and competencies that students are expected to achieve, which are based on the noble values of Pancasila. There are 6 main of elements that must be processed by Pancasila learners, namely faith, fear of God, a noble character, global diversity, mutual cooperation, independence, critical reasoning, and creativity. The profile of Pancasila learners is built on daily life and revived in every student group, like a school culture, intracurricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular learning. Then we move to the criteria for achievement of learning objective, or KKTP. The criteria for student learning completeness are determined by KKM, and each subject in the Merdeka Belajar curriculum, the term is no longer used and already replaced by learning objective achievement criteria, or we said KKTP. It seems like KKM indeed. And then is the teaching at the right level. Other terms Merdeka Belajar is a teaching approach that is not only concerned on the grade level but also learning readiness, and this approach to ensure that every student get the same learning right, achieve the expected learning objective, and give student enough time to build and improve the numeracy and literacy competences. And the last is operational curriculum and education units. So this is about which contains all plans for the learning process that takes place in educational units. As a guide for entire learning implementation, the term COSM and in the same of KTSP. Alright, that's all for the terms of the independent curriculum, and of course they have a benefit for it. Of course, the benefit of independent learning curriculum, students are given to freedom to organize their own learning, so they feel more responsible for their learning. In this way, students become more active in the learning process and gain a better understanding of the material being taught. Alright, that's all from me.